Good. Action. Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. Jack Chow on East West with the G&E TV. With a little cold right now, I gotta protect my voice, so that's why I'm wearing my scarf. Well, not for the heat, just for the throat. Anyway, yes. Today we have a good friend, old friend. I'm not saying that he looks old. I'm saying that I know him for many, many years. I know him as a trustworthy friend, reliable source of information, Mr. Drexel Smith of the Smith Business Consultant. Right?
I'm really happy that you clarified that.
Yeah, sure. I have to make a specific point that's clear. You are an old friend of many years for me. That's it.
Yes.
Right, good, very good. So with this very old friend, we are talking about our very old problems. It is a problem so old, maybe older than me, than him, whatever. Ever since we started, we've been living on debt. We've been borrowing money from everywhere, including our daughters and sons, including our granddaughters and grandsons. So that is our problem. That is called the typical American problems. Can we not do that? Can we reverse it? Or what can we do? But right now, our problem is that, as we heard loudly last year, towards the end of October, starting November, when we, for that short moment, settled down for those little arguments that goes on and on about the sequestration, we said that it's going to be sometime hard. Hit us hard, either end of January or beginning or mid part of February. We have to face it anyway. That is the debt ceiling. So with me today, Mr. Drexel Smith is going to give us some analysis about it. So.
Well, Jack, as you so accurately said, last year, the conservative groups pushed very heavily to the point of stopping government, stopping everything, to argue about the need to lower the debt. And the people were very unhappy with their actions. And I don't think the Republican or conservative side, the way they went about doing what they did, was necessarily the most productive in the eyes of the people. So they put a lot of pressure on Congress. Congress has an all-time low view. Many polls say 18% positive.
Even lower. I heard the
Very,
number
very
even
low.
lower than 18. Yeah.
Yeah. It's horrible. But the conservatives have now joined the idea that we need to get a budget in place. So right now they're processing a jointly done budget of over $1 trillion that continues to raise
on top
the debt.
On top.
So I don't know where we're headed. You've heard me on your show before that I consider the United States national crisis the level of debt that it's carrying. Somehow we have just allowed ourselves to accept this, and I think it's horribly wrong. We don't think it's good to live our personal life that way. Businesses get in trouble when they carry debt.
Yes.
Government should not carry this kind of debt. It is the wrong formula.
So now we're talking about, if I'm correct with the number though, 16 trillion already, right? And we are putting 1 trillion on top.
Yeah, this is another $1 trillion budget.
So
That both sides have at least warmed up to.
Is this the one that we're facing discussions about or facing the fight about this coming February, or it's already a done deal?
Well, it appears that the committee, the joint committee of both sides, have recommended this new $1 trillion budget.
Uh-huh.
And I think the fighting will not be that strong, although some are making words.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you, as I like to say, peel the onion
Yeah.
and
Layer
get
by
down
layer.
to the root,
You get down to the root, yes.
we have a terrible problem with an entitlement attitude. There is just simply too many people, too many businesses, too many places that all want to dip in the bucket for their share. Now, if you look at that, so many programs are costing so much money, and we haven't figured out how to turn that corner. What we call in this country Social Security, many people refer to as an entitlement program or something the government is going to give to older people. But you know, in fact, that's not true. In fact, I was in the workforce for 50 years. For 50 straight years, I contributed money to Social Security.
Exactly. You're
It is
not
not-
getting the money out of nowhere.
It
Yes.
is not an entitlement program.
No.
But what happened about 45 years ago is the government was a little short on cash. So the government side borrowed money from the Social Security Trust Fund.
All right, okay. Yeah. That's how the problem was created in the first place.
Had they left the trust fund a trust fund and not touched it,
Yeah.
Social Security wouldn't be in the trouble it is now.
All right.
Now, I will probably not live long enough
To see the crash.
to get the money back that I personally sent in for Social Security.
All right.
And not only did I contribute every year for 50 years, my employer contributed.
And on the surface, the whole thing, like in your case, your story, may even look like a story that you are taking benefit from the system. As a matter of fact, it's the input of the last 50 years by year is accumulated there. You're taking out your own money.
Exactly.
All right? Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because of the fact government started borrowing, right? The hole that made by borrowing money has to be put into, has to be filled in by new borrowings.
Exactly.
And then you are taking benefit from the government borrowing. Am I right?
Well, that's the theory. And the theory is that the incoming workforce, with their contributions, will pay the retiring workforce. But as you know, demographically, we had a big rise in babies after World War II.
Yeah, the baby boomers.
The baby boomers that are now beginning to retire.
All right.
Now we don't have as many people in the workforce to feed the retiring population.
Yeah, to match the rise.
Exactly. What you would like to have
Yeah.
is a population growth that is somewhat consistent. So we have a multiple set of problems all coming together at the same time. The baby boomers are beginning to retire. The people in the workforce is going down. The economy is slowing down. The demands on these trust funds are going up. The government took money from the trust fund and hasn't repaid.
Sure. Question is here, if we could rewind back to history though,
Yes.
the baby boomer problem, was that a man-made? Was that something inevitable?
Well, I hope it was men and women getting together made.
Oh no. I'm not joking. I'm saying that the problem
Yes.
of baby boomer time, was that a man-made time because you are just through with a war, and then you need more babies to balance with with the population,
no, throughout
or something just naturally happened?
Oh, people around the world at the end of World War II were very happy that war had ended, and it was the last war, and peace would be there. So everybody was happy. They started families.
They started family. They started
Okay.
celebrating.
Yeah. So they started a family. They wanted to live the dream of having children
This-
and family.
These many babies are the product of the celebration.
Well, yes.
Am I right?
And an interest to have a family.
Mm.
Now, 20 years later in the 1960s, as the baby boomers became older, they said, maybe I don't want to have so many babies.
Uh-huh. I
Maybe
see.
having a family is not what I want. Many people saw the baby boom generation as somewhat selfish. They wanted to do their own thing. So the population did not continue to rise.
Uh-huh.
You follow me?
I see, I see.
And this is a worldwide issue.
Uh-huh. I see.
Okay? In many countries in Europe, the population is going backwards. Okay? So you had a big rise of people born after World War II, from 1946 to 56 in that 10 years.
I see what you mean.
And then, as they got older, they didn't have the same number of children. And this is not just America, this is around the world. But to come back to Social Security for one more moment, it bothers me because some of the attitudes of the politicians are, oh, Mr. Drexel Smith, you're very prosperous. You have friends like Jack Shaw. We should limit what you can take out for Social Security because you are prosperous. And I say, wait, that's money I put in.
All right, yeah.
Shouldn't I have the same right to take out? So now we're beginning to have discussions where people that are underserved, that have not worked, that need money, should get a little extra. And people that are prosperous, even though they put the money in, should be limiting. I think we're going to have a major discussion that won't be easy
I see.
on what to do about Social Security.
I see. I see.
I think because people are living longer, to delay Social Security a couple more years is probably an easy
All right.
piece to fix.
Okay. Let's take a very short moment out. I found this analysis very profound, and it seems to be touching the root of the problem. We'll be right back after this short moment.